Today we're going to talk about the history of Gibraltar. Well, more importantly, why the British control Gibraltar. I'm also going to tie in a whole shitload of other history, so I guarantee you'll learn something if you stick around. Let's go. Territory right above me is known as Gibraltar. The Brits control it right now, and the Spanish want it bad, and they've wanted it bad for a couple hundred years now. But the question is, why do the British have it? First, we need to go back to a war that takes place as this guy was on his deathbed. His name was Charles Segundos, or Ichizaro, the Bewitched. One, I have to point out the fact that his father looked just like Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know how that worked out that way, but it did. But Charles II of Spain was really messed up. He had something like 5 generations of inbred going on in his family, where uncles married nieces to nieces marrying first cousins, a whole slew of issues, till finally Mother Nature said, no more. He's born, and he doesn't know how to walk till the age of 7. This actually is a good painting of him. Realistically, he couldn't close his mouth, so what they actually did was they closed it for him in the painting. Now, he had a limp, and he was completely sterile. And like I said, this is a good painting. Let me show you another one. Bam! Now, this guy knew once he's dead, the Habsburg line would be dead in Spain, so he talked about giving the Kingdom of Spain to a neighbor, Louis XIV. Someone who was very powerful and pretty much was taking on all of Europe at the time. This little bequeathing of Spain to France became a major incident known as the War of Spanish Succession. Now, this war ended with a draw, but as part of a treaty that was signed, England got to keep the territory known as Gibraltar, a location today that has roughly 38,000 Brits living there. And the Spanish want it back. Now you might ask, why do the British want it? Well, it's pretty simple. It controls access to the Mediterranean, and as the British and the sun never sets on the British Empire, this is a good example of how they control different parts of the world for the purposes of trade and controlling sea trade all over the world. Remember, the British Empire at one point was the strongest entity on Earth, later replaced by the United States. And really what I'm going to be talking about is a painting by John Singleton Copley, a super famous American painter, although he wasn't really American, or he was American and then he's not anymore. So Copley's famous for a lot of paintings, one of my personal favorites. But this one was considered his life's work. In fact, what he did was he painted all these individuals here. These are real people that he tracked down, and he got their likeness perfectly aligned. Now, this took him years to do, and what this painting is called the Siege of Gibraltar. Something us in America would really talk about at all, because we really wouldn't give a shit.